Well, must be a difficult time that, and not for the first time this season we've gifted the opposition a 2-goal start.
We certainly have, Chris. Yeah, we've gifted them the 3 points as well. When we had something with 5 minutes to go, we've gifted them the 3 points. But you're absolutely spot on. Started the game poorly. First 10-15 minutes, didn't get territory, didn't get a foothold in the game. Allowed them to get a foothold in the game. Too far off in the middle of the park, too far off defensively, and they get their strikes off and get their early lead. And really disappointed with that, because the one thing we have done all week is to remind the players about complacency. Making sure that we treat every game like a cup final, really, because anybody can beat anybody in this division, as we talk about every week. And the first 10 or 15 minutes we didn't. We had our foot off the gas. Wasn't right, didn't do the basics well. Allowed them to get a foothold in the game and get the early lead. But from then on in, we were really good. From 10-15 minutes in, offensively, we've been superb today going forward, created lots of opportunities, but just looked so vulnerable defensively on turnover. And we talked about it, just their front two today have been a right handful for us, and we haven't coped with that anywhere near well enough.
Is there any particular reason you're looking at there? Because you look at man for man defensively, and you've got some good players there.
Yeah,
and that's just talking of the back four, obviously, but
Yeah, I mean, listen, the last few weeks we've been good defensively. We had 5 clean sheets and 7, something like that. We've been working on it. We've been good defensively, but for 15 minutes today, and perhaps the whole game, but the first 15 minutes is where we've lost the game for me, conceding 2 early goals. We're playing catch up, but we just looked vulnerable defensively against a really good front two, I might add, and they're soft goals. They're not. They haven't had to work. The winner, again, it's a ball into our box from the corner. We haven't dealt with that anywhere near well enough after just equalising. And I'm saying to the team, make sure we don't lose the football match. If we have to take what we've got, we take what we've got. But literally from kick-off, we're all wrong defensively. They get the corner, and obviously they score from it. But the whole game, really, every time the ball turned over, I just thought we looked a little bit vulnerable to counter-attack, and defensively we didn't look great, and hence conceding 4 goals, albeit one of them an absolute wonder strike. But when you get back into the game at 3-3, if it hasn't been your afternoon and you're not quite right, at least take what you've got, and we haven't done that.
Yeah, you mentioned that wonder strike, but before that, we were, and when we got back to 2-2, you think there's only going to be one winner out the game, don't you?
Yeah, Chris, listen, we were excellent going forward. From 15 minutes in, we're on the attack, the throw-in going in, causing a problem, corners going in, causing a problem, open play, moved the ball really well. had really good opportunities. I was disappointed we weren't level at half-time, I've got to be honest. Second half started well. I thought the equaliser was an absolute wonderful goal, great ball in, great volley by Birch. And with 20 minutes ago, it looks like there's going to be one winner, and we're still on the front foot. I'm disappointed with the strike from their lads. In terms of closing down middle of the park, and the 8 shouldn't be getting a shot off from 40 yards out, that's for sure. But it is a wonder strike. I'm looking forward to seeing it back on the VO, because I'm not sure whether it's a goalkeeping error, whether we haven't closed down enough, whether the keeper's blocked in terms of vision. I don't know. But again, it's soft. It should be scoring against us from there. And I'll repeat what I say. If we're going to do any good this season, we scored 3 good goals. We can't be conceding 4 at home, that's for sure.
You made a double substitution 10 minutes into the second half.
Mm-hmm.
From my view, that gave them more space. You've already mentioned about their forwards. It gave them that bit of space on the attack. Did that work for you as you wanted it to?
Yeah, because I just felt we needed more of a threat up front. They were 3 middle apart, they were 3-5-2. We'd set up 4-3-3. We weren't getting enough out of the wide players, in my opinion, and getting the ball out to our wide players anywhere near enough and causing them enough problems. So we matched them up. We went 3-5-2, man for man. Our 2 up top against their back 3, their 2 up top against our back 3, man for man, middle of the park, and see where we go. I thought, you're right, I thought that the 10, who was a problem all day, caused us problems in our back 3 down the sides, but we were losing the game, because, if we'd have lost the game, and you'd have been asking me why I didn't put an extra player on up front, So, we put an extra player up front. We tried to win the football match. Thought Logan did really well when he went on and caused a threat. And we got back into the game from the change of shape. It's just the soft goals were given away because of that. But we had to gamble. We wanted to win the game. We wanted to get back into the game. We did. And I thought at 3-3 we should have at least taken a point.
Okay. One of those substitutions was the return of Mason Rees.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Probably a bit ahead of where most fans would have expected him, considering the injury he picked up at Kidsgrove.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's trained. He's fit. His hamstring's fine, as you see. I thought he was excellent when he went on. I thought all the subs made a difference, and we've got to use the squad. We were losing the game. We've got to use the squad. We've got to get people on the pitch and try and change the game. Lads that we brought on today had an effect, on the game Tuesday night, which we won. So let's get people on. Let's get people off that perhaps need a little bit of protection as well. That's important that we don't pick up any more injuries. And yeah, Mason did really well. We're losing for a week now because he's got a pre-booked holiday. So that's not great. But he did well when he went on. It's obviously his hamstring's fine. His passing range from the middle of the park was excellent, and he just gave us that little bit of a screen in front of a back three. But you throw all the balls up in the air. We made this sub, we could have made that sub. Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? We conceded 4 soft goals at home. That's why we lost the football match. We scored 3 really good goals at home, but you cannot be conceding like we've conceded today if we're going to do well this season.
Okay. One more question really is what's the news on Jack Sherritt with his recovery? Yeah,
he's a lot better. Not well enough to be involved today. I would hope that he's back next weekend. So obviously with Mason away, Sherritt will come into contention as long as he trains this week. So that's a plus. Ben O'Hanlon trained in the week on Tuesday. Felt his injury still a little bit tight. So taking it careful with him. Coquelin doing really well. I'd hope to see him before the end of the month as well.
Okay, well thank you, and on to next week.
No worries, thanks Chris, thank you.